this. There it is. Look at that. They have a skull. They're sticking cigarettes in its mouth. You can only speculate that it's a North Korean skull. If I can get 100 likes on this video, I'll open this. Hello everybody and welcome. I'm assuming by now everybody that went to SOS is home nice and safe and sound now. He's barking at shadows on the wall. My dog's barking at shadows on the wall. So that's cool. But yeah, so it was a great weekend. Or a great week actually, but got to see a lot of people and catch up with them and bought some really cool stuff. So that's what this video is going to be here. Just a quick, well, not too quick. It took a little, just a quick video of my SOS finds, which there's some pretty cool ones, which a couple of which you've seen in my other videos if you watched them. If you did, I really appreciate you watching. So if you're new, I appreciate you subscribing. So let's go take a look at some of my finds. Okay, so on the way down, I stopped, because I was driving from New York to Kentucky. In Ohio, I stopped at this antique mall, and I ended up buying a couple things. I had to make that trip short because I was running short on time. But I found this cool French Adrian helmet. I think it's a World War I. Not too familiar with French stuff, but I think it was a World War I French Adrian that somebody painted. It's got like these French crosses on the side, some armored division. I just thought it was neat. Found that in one of the booths there at the antique mall for $90. I had it on my table at the show. Didn't get much attention. A couple people asked about it, and when I told them I was trying to get like 150, and you know, after taxes and stuff, you know, I'm not making a lot of money on that. So, but maybe I paid too much. I just thought it was cool. Like I said, no expert on French stuff, so more of a U.S. collector. And this was there too. I bought this for $30. What this is a World War II paratrooper's wrist compass. Because as a paratrooper, you were being dropped behind enemy lines, and you had to carry everything combat-wise on you. So they would wear these on their wrists and just have them handy for whenever they needed them. It's got the original leather strap. You don't see them with the strap too often, so I paid $30 for that. I think I can get $100 for that in the end, just because, mainly because of the strap. They had liquid in them, and it's usually missing, but I don't know if it impacts or makes it not work like a compass anymore or not. Let's see which way is. Well, it's saying that's north, so I think that's correct. Okay, let's move along. These are kind of neat. I met the author there. He wrote 3 children's books based off the Band of Brothers series. It was kind of neat. The author, Chris Langlow. Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name. But his grandfather was Doc Rowe of the Easy Company 506, who's depicted in episode 4 or 5, the Bastogne episode, the Battle of the Bulge episode of Band of Brothers. Documents Doc Rowe kind of well. And his grandson wrote these books, which I thought was kind of neat, so I bought a couple just to give him a read through, even though they're children's books. I was more interested in seeing the illustrations, to be honest with you, because I appreciate the drawings. And there's this one, How Easy Company Became the Band of Brothers. I haven't read either of these yet. And Draft D, which is about a dog that they came across on their march from was it Toccoa to Atlanta? Somewhere from Atlanta to Toccoa. And he signed them for me, which was kind of neat. I always, whenever I meet an author, I definitely want to get the book signed. So right there, to Mickey. May you always be inspired by the company of heroes. That's awesome. Then he dated it up there. He signed both of them for me, which I thought was really cool. And I asked him how true to his grandfather was the series. And apparently his grandma wasn't a traitor, like he says in this series, but the men did really love Doc Rowe and respect him as much as they show in the series, which most medics were, which I actually got a medic's uniform right here. Most medics were highly respected among their men because medics went above and beyond to do their duty to take care of these men. So, but yeah, and right here, you saw it already, but Matthew Leach was there. He played Floyd Talbert in the series Band of Brothers, and I got this for a friend's son, an autograph. Right there it says, "Thanks for watching, Matt Leach, Floyd Talbert." So, and he was really nice, very cool person to meet. I wish I'd asked him a little bit more about the behind-the-scenes stuff, but didn't get much time to do that. But let's see here. This was probably my worst buy. I think I probably paid too much for this. It was $80 I paid for that, but it's a silver ring, probably World War II era. It's Mark Sterling. It's probably hard to read in the GoPro there, but it says U.S. Army Air Forces, Turner Field. It's a beautiful ring. And what's kind of funny is the seller I bought this from, he had a sign on it that said, "If you buy this ring, I will give you the finger." And that had two meanings, and it took me a second to catch on to that. But yeah, I paid $80 for that, and that's probably about what they're going for, some a little less on eBay, so oops. And this photo album, bought this from the same guy actually as the ring. This was a great buy because there's some really cool photos in this. This is a Korean War photo album. Look right there. That's a guy shooting a friggin' flamethrower, which is awesome. And some great photos of the mountains. There's just these are all 2nd Infantry Division patches from what I've seen. Avec, but the only thing is, which is weird, everything that's written on the back, there's a bunch of paratroopers dropping. This is awesome. Everything written on the back of these is in French, and I have no clue why, because it's an American unit. Maybe there's a French guy attached to them, which wouldn't have been out of the realm of possibility. There's a little Korean lady. Really cool combat photo. Probably won't go through this whole album, but there's a couple really cool photos I do want to show you. There's a guy with a grease gun, PPH something. Oh, where is it? Some more cool photos of the mountains. I don't know what it is. Whenever I find a Korean War album, it seems like they always have a little kid that seems like they adopted and just kind of take under their wing. There's always seems to be one for some reason. These albums. The light keeps going out. It's on a timer. See, they're wearing 2nd Infantry patches. It's hard to... There it is. Look at that. They have a skull. They're sticking cigarettes in its mouth. You can only speculate that it's a North Korean skull. Hopefully. And then that sign there. It reminds me so much of MASH. The sign from MASH. But yeah, this is a really cool album. Some great content in here. I gotta go through some more of the photos, but see if any of these are written in English, but as you can see, they're all written in French. Why? I don't know. But just great content in this. See, there's that kid again. You know? All right, let's move on. Like I said, I don't want to go through too much of that. I also bought this while I was there. This is a medic's pouch, but I think it might be British made. We would commission the British to make field gear for us during World War II. Mainly because it was just cheaper logistically to have it made there than make it here, ship it there. And I think that's what this is. I'm not sure. I've never seen a British made one. But the fabric in this olive drab, the color, is very indicative of British-made gear, I think. But I could be totally wrong. Luckily, I didn't pay much for it. It came with something else I bought. So if I'm wrong, I'm not out a lot of money. If I'm right, I could have scored. So, and you saw this in the first walkthrough video. If you watched my SOS walkthrough video, I bought this then, which is a really nice, well, depending on your definition of nice, M1941 field jacket with a Airborne patch. And what that patch is 9th Airborne Aviation Engineer Division, or U.S. Air Force 9th Aviation Battalion, which there was 3 battalions of this division, I guess, designated airborne during the war. So I'm not exactly sure what the airborne designation means. This was probably a ground crew jacket being enlisted, but it does have a laundry number. It's a little salty. It's got some, it was definitely used, a few repairs right there. It has most of the buttons. The zipper is in good shape. You got your talon zipper there you want to see. And it's got a few holes in it, but overall, not a bad jacket. I paid $230 for this. And I did try to sell this at the show with no luck. I started at like $450, which was probably crazy. Ended up going down to like $350, still couldn't sell it. I honestly still think it's in that ballpark as far as value. Not exactly sure what I'm going to do with it. I don't know if I'm going to put it on Facebook or eBay just yet. Might try to do a little research on the laundry number first, see if there's anything that can turn up. Probably won't, but you never know. So yeah, there was that. And then this, you saw me buy this as well. And if you saw the video, you saw that it wasn't named, but it is a gorgeous 8th Air Force pilot's Class A jacket. And he's got a Distinguished Flying Cross with, I think that's 5 air medals? 4 or 5. And if this was named, this would have been a great piece. I mean, it's still a really cool piece, honestly. You got both the captain's bars. It's got a shirt and tie. And this was in the pocket. Didn't know that when I bought it, so that was a bonus for me. I don't know if that's a officer's laundry number or not, but got bullion service stripes down here. And I'm sure some of you have seen the new Apple Plus series, Masters of the Air, which is incredible. If you haven't, I would suggest watching it. It's been a great watch so far, what I've seen so far. And so that's made this stuff a little sought after. So I bought this the first day, well, actually the second day because it was on the video. But I was surprised it was honestly still there because I thought it was a good price at $150. I think I can at least double my money on that when I get around to selling it, because we got the nice, beautiful pilot wings there. They're Mark Sterling, and they are the pin back that you want to see. And of course, 8th Air Force is good as gold right now, right? So, and it's got the belt too that goes across here, but it's not on there. And which is funny because if you've seen any of my previous videos, you know, not too long ago, I bought a collection of like 50 jackets. So I told myself when I went to SOS that I wasn't going to be buying many uniforms, and I bought mostly uniforms. So, but I like them, and they sell. I can sell them. I know I can sell them. So, but this was this. I bought 3 Marine Corps jackets together here, and here's the first one. And here we have FMF Pack headquarters with the fist there, and that means Fleet Marine Force Pacific. This one was not named, but it's a nice dress green jacket, and it's got his EGAs there. I think to the right, and to the right. Screw back there, so that's a cool piece by itself. But like I said, not named. But I got a good deal on this pile, and I'll show you here in a second where the money is. I paid $300 for 4 jackets from this individual. I bought this jacket and this one, as well as this dress blue here I'll show you in a moment, and also a 8th Air Force Ike jacket, which I did sell at the show for $50. Just to get rid of it, and it was a pretty good deal because I had a British-made patch on it. This one is named, and this is 5th Amphibious Assault. Yeah. Assault Signal. Well, this guy was 2nd Assault Signal Company. This one was named in the sleeve there. And you got a nice Marine Corps ribbon bar there. You can always tell they're Marines, I think. If you look, they're just a little bit wider than Army ones. Or, unless I'm just seeing things, but that's kind of how I gauge ribbon bars. Because I never claim to be an expert on any of this. I'm just a enthusiast. And this was probably, arguably, my best buy. I bought this, like I said, with these 2 jackets plus that Air Corps jacket for $300. This was marked as an Iwo Jima killed in action. Now, when I bought that, you know, you take what price tags say with a grain of salt sometimes, because until you fully research something, it can't exactly be what people say it is. So I bought this. It was a bit of a gamble, but I knew if it was a Iwo Jima killed in action Marine, it would be good. And I found this paperwork inside the jacket after I bought it. When I brought it home just yesterday, when I was going through this stuff, this guy had done all the research for me, which was awesome. But one thing he did not mention on that, see, it says killed in action Iwo Jima. One thing he did not mention on that price tag was that this particular Marine, oh crap, there. This particular Marine was airborne trained. He was a para-Marine. Right there. Para-Marine stuff is, I'm going to steal this term from a gentleman from my first SOS video. It's like finding lips on a chicken. Because it's just rare. The Ira Hayes was a para-Marine too. I just thought that was cool. But yeah, he fought on Guadalcanal with a para-Marine, but I think it was a battalion. I got to do a little more research on the para-Marines, but I know this stuff is rare. I know it's sought after. Airborne stuff is always good, and regular airborne stuff is rare and hard to find. But if you tack on Marine to that, you just talk about rare. So, as far as value, I have no idea on that, because this was reissued, hence the ruptured duct, because if he died on Iwo Jima, obviously he would not have been honorably discharged. And there is 2 names inside the sleeve of this jacket, so it's clearly been reissued, and that's this patch here. I think this is 1st Marine Air Wing, or something like that. But yeah, so that's a really cool piece, and I'll probably do a showcase on this, showcase video on this particular piece when I get a little more research done on it, especially about the Paramarines, because he fought in combat and he was killed. Well, he was wounded on Iwo Jima, and he died of his wounds on a ship, and unfortunately was buried at sea. So, sad history to this one, but it's a really cool piece nonetheless. But let's move on to the next piece. This is also a really cool piece. This was my first buy. Again, I didn't get this on camera, unfortunately. This is during the first day setup. What we got here is an incredible 88th Division Blue Devils Bullion patch with the scroll. That's probably Italian made, but this belonged to a medic with a Purple Heart, who received a Purple Heart. It's got his collar brass there. There was a laundry number in there, so this one is possibly researchable. And you got this amazing cross stitch on the patches. Collectors really like to see that stuff, so do I, because it looks cool. And like I said, you got his medic's badge right there. That's a good piece by itself. And over here we got more patches. I paid $250 for this, and I think I can at the very least double my money on this piece, all said and done. Though the laundry number in here did not match the name in there, so I'm not sure if the guy I got it from just stuck them together, because this is a medic's overseas cap and just put it with this for display purposes or what. But it could have still possibly come with it. So but it's a gorgeous piece. Very happy to have gotten that. So but yeah, let's go over here back, since we're kind of on an airborne kick. I have a video I did on one of these, but this is a Paratrooper swing camp designated, pretty much used primarily by the 11th Airborne. They had their own style of cap made, usually post-war on these. These are post-war, but made by the 11th Airborne. General Swing wanted his troops to stand out from other troops, so they had their own hats made. Most of these are actually made by shirt material. You'll see them either made by this khaki shirt material or the mustard wools sometimes too, and HBT. I actually did a video on these and my other channel that I'm probably going to recycle onto this channel, because it makes a lot more sense to have it on this channel than that channel. That was a metal detecting channel, so why I had it on there, I don't know. So I'll probably bring it over here. But that's a really neat, unique piece. You don't see too many of these. Funny thing is, though, I bought two this year. I found one earlier at a flea market for $5. This one I had to pay a little more for. I paid $100 for that, but I sold my last one for $300, so I figured I could at least double my money at $100. So, but I also have a bad past of buying something for nothing, selling it for a lot, and then paying up for it the next time, and then not being able to sell it for some reason. But I don't think this will be too hard to sell, honestly, because it's such a cool piece. Here's a neat medal grouping I got. All these medals are named to a Sylvester Joseph, Sylvester Joseph. My light keeps going on. It's clearly it's got a timer. Sylvester Joseph. This man served in the Marine Corps during Vietnam, and then re-enlisted in the Army and went back to Vietnam, and what it looks like. But he's got a Purple Heart, Bronze Star, Air Medal, Good Conduct. I think that's a Medal of Merit, Meritorious Service. I think that's, I don't know why there's 3 on this, 2 on that, but National Defense Medal. That's a Vietnam Service Medal. His Combat Infantry Badge and his dog tags. And it came with this big pile of paperwork that he had, but what I thought was really cool is right here, he wrote down everywhere he went, starting with Tijuana, Mexico, and ending up in Vietnam, and then back in San Diego. So that's really cool. It's handwritten by the veteran himself. Places I, Sylvester Joseph Sr., have been outside of the United States of America. So that's a really cool piece of history. And there's all this cool paperwork. Came in at some of his patches. License plate. Must have been his nameplate off of his door at his office there. An Army license plate. Just pretty cool group there. Paid $200. No, I bought it with that medical pouch. Paid $200 for both of these things, and this could be a score, and I think I could make a few bucks on this somehow, one way or the other, because it's a pretty neat group. There's a lot of medals in there. They're all mostly named. Not sure of the engravings. I'm no expert on medals by any means, but neat group nonetheless. And this medal too. Speaking of medals, this down there. Well, I got this in part trade and gave the guy some cash too. But this, what this is a POW medal. They handed these out to POWs. This was a World War II veteran, but apparently these medals didn't come about until the 1960s. So this isn't a World War II medal, but it was presented to a World War II veteran. And his name, you probably can't read it there, but it's Alvin Ho. Goodrich, Sheridan County, North Dakota. Died in 1999, so he survived the war. But what's really unique about this, these medals don't sell for a whole lot, but this is really unique and cool. What we have here is a 506 Parachute Infantry Regiment Pathfinder. So that makes this medal pretty neat for somebody. Especially airborne nerds like me, and especially if you like Big Brother stuff. 506 stuff is like basically good as gold if you're a dealer. But this medal being nothing overly special other than you had to be a prisoner of war to get it. Him being 506, and also what's really cool is he's mentioned in this book, D-Day. He was a D-Day veteran. This book, D-Day with the Screaming Eagles by George Koskimaki. He's mentioned right here on this page. Where is it? One member of Lieutenant Charles Faith's misdropped 3rd Battalion stick described his experience. We were fired on by Germans, but not in extensive force, explained Private Spencer E. Everly. We caught them off guard. The jump was all right, but I was really scared. We landed approximately 2.5 miles from Carentan. I headed for the hedgerows and began looking for other members of my stick. I located Alvin Ho, that's him right there, Lester Hunt, Sergeant John O'Shaughnessy, and Lieutenant Charles Faith. Stanley Sawarski came down in a tree. He was shot without having an opportunity to get out of his chute. Wow. But yeah, so that is Alvin right there. Apparently he's in this picture somewhere too. Yeah, it says 506, 501st. 501st in the book. The guy said 506. This says 506 and 501st. So, let's see. Yeah, this paper says he was 501st, so I misspoke. He wasn't 506, but still. 101st Airborne Pathfinder, which Pathfinders were badasses among badasses because Pathfinders were dropped generally the night before or way before the initial force of paratroopers to set up landing zones and secure certain points before to help the airborne once they landed. So that's a really neat medal. I'm technically tied into it for about 100 and... yeah, maybe closer to 100 with the trade. So I think I did okay there. We'll see. Here's another really unique piece. Well, yeah. This, if you can't tell, PW, Prisoner of War. What we have here, this is an American shirt. This was like almost one of my last finds of the show. This was, the guy was packing up, and he had this stashed under his table. He had forgot about it and was packing up the last day and threw it out on the table. I came walking up 2 minutes later, and he said, I just put this out on the table. And I'm glad he did, because it is awesome. But like I said, it's an American shirt. It's got the PW here for Prisoner of War. Also here on this sleeve. Maybe. Right there. And why it's American is because this probably belonged to a German POW in one of our many prisoner camps here in the U.S. Once their uniforms wore out, they needed something to wear, so we started giving them our old clothing, and you can see there where it's been reissued a few times. It's got a few different laundry numbers that have been crossed out there, and this X. So I think that X usually means this has been it's not useful for service anymore, so that would probably be exactly why they gave it to a prisoner to use, would be my guess. But like I said, I got this very last minute. I was looking at it, kind of couldn't believe it was still sitting there, and the only reason was he had just put it out. But yeah, so, and I asked how much, $75? Sold. I wasn't even going to argue with him. I don't know exactly what they're worth, especially at the moment. I just knew $75 was probably a good deal. So I jumped on it for 75 bucks. I looked them up. There's only 2 available for sale right now. One's on eBay, but it's an HBT shirt, which is kind of a horse of different colors. That guy wants $850. I think he's crazy. And I found one on another website, a military website. It was the same kind of shirt, but the P and W were different colors. They were like orange or something. He wanted $450, which I think is probably a little more realistic. So I would say, if I had to, judging from those prices, this is 3 to 4, 2, 3, 4, somewhere in that ballpark, I guess. So, and this is the one thing I bought for my collection here, right here. If you watched any of my previous videos, I mentioned that my uncle was in the 517th Parachute Regimental Combat Team, which was the Battling Buzzards. That's why my eBay username is Battling Buzzards A&M Antiques and Militaria. That's where I got it from. And I have this book, but the guy I bought the stuff from gave this to me, which was really cool, and I appreciated it because I only had the newer paperback, and this is one of the older hardcovers, so that's really cool. But what I got from him is in here, and what I was really excited to buy, this is for my collection, not going anywhere, but this guy was 517th Airborne also. There he is right there. His name was Peter Sturgeon. There he is in his uniform, but I got a pair of his jump wings, his original Sterling pinback jump wings. A couple of his patches there, but there he is. There's his 517 oval right there, and with his wife. I'm assuming some neat photos of him right there. Unfortunately, not in his, like, his jump uniform, but you see his oval. And that's him just after Operation Dragoon, which is an airborne, which was the invasion of southern France that's usually completely overshadowed by Normandy. But 517 stuff is really hard to find and usually very expensive. I got a pretty good deal on this from somebody that knew I would love and cherish it, which I will. So I'm very pleased to be the newest caretaker of this for a long time, hopefully. So there was that. And then the weirdest, most random buy was this mustard wool shirt, which was supposedly used in the movie Saving Private Ryan. This is a U.S. mustard wool shirt. It's an original shirt, which they did use original gear in the movie. That's a fact. But this is, see, there's the stamp people always say you want to see when you're looking for Saving Private Ryan props. USSPR. Now, there's a lot of speculation on the internet whether these stamps are real or not or whatever, but most people believe that this stands for Universal Studios Saving Private Ryan. So I paid $20 for that. Either way, for $20 for a mustard wool shirt is a good deal. So even with the Saving Private Ryan, that should, add a few bucks to it. And this was the very last thing I bought, pretty much as I was walking out the door, because I was hungry. No, but my buddy gave me a really good deal on it that I just couldn't pass up. But obviously it's a Meal Combat Individual, MCI C ration. And it's dated right here, November 1968, lot of 25. I think there's 12, yeah, see, 12 meals in here. This is a sealed case. A sealed case from Vietnam of 12 meals. So this could feed 12 soldiers in one, I think 3 soldiers in a day. Anyway, here's the price tag. I didn't pay $500, like I said. He gave me a great deal because he didn't want to pack it up, which I understand because it was heavy, but not that big. But that's pretty darn cool. Because an individual meal, those sell from anywhere from like $50 to $100 by themselves. So I'm gonna, I guess I'm gonna try something here, but if I can get 100 likes on this video, I'll open this. But spoiler alert, even if I don't get 100 likes, I'll probably gonna open it anyway. But I'll shoot for 100 likes anyway. Why not? Give me 100 likes and I'll open this in a video and maybe try some of the contents, maybe smoke some of the cigarettes or something, like what's this, that other YouTube guy. But I just think that would be kind of cool. So, but yeah, paid $200 for that. So, at 12 meals, if I crack this open, not all of them are going to be in good shape. As you can see, there's definitely at least one leaking some juices. So, they're all probably going to be in varying degrees of condition. So, but like I said, the individual meals are selling anywhere from $50 to $100 a piece. So if there's 12, you do the math there, I could potentially make $1,000. Well, 800 or so with profit wise, depending on how much I get for how many of them. So, and I am gonna probably open one anyway. So I'm definitely gonna open the box because that'll be the best way to maximize the profit. I'm probably gonna break somebody's heart doing that, but sue me. Still a cool thing. Pretty cool. So there they were. It was, like I said, a great week for me. I spent $1,685 on that stuff you just saw there. So there should be couple more thousand there. I'm hoping. We'll see in the end. Got to put it up, but I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing with any of it quite yet. Some of it's probably going to be going to eBay, so or Facebook. We'll see. Plus, I got some other military shows coming up in the near future, and I might want to save at least one or two of those items for. We'll see. But yeah. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you liked seeing some of my finds there. I thought there were some cool ones. Let me know what your favorite find was. If you were there, what your favorite find was, I mean. And I would really appreciate it if you click like and subscribe if you're not already. I'll catch you guys next time.